So here's an interesting article on the Daily Mail. Usually I don't look at, the Daily Mail, except for Harry and Meghan content. I don't really look at anything else, but as a general rule, I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, today I'm looking at stuff, okay? I think I just saw something with Jennifer Lopez, and now I saw this one as I was reading the Jennifer Lopez one. I saw this one about how Donald Trump Jr. accuses Biden of trying to start World War III before his father can take office after Washington allowed Kiev to blast targets inside Russia with U.S. missiles. Zelensky says weapons will speak for themselves. Oh my goodness. So it says here, Donald Trump Jr. has accused President Biden of trying to start World War III before his father can take office after the U.S. gave the green light for Ukraine to blast targets inside Russia with U.S. supplied long-range missiles, you guys. Did you hear that? The decision is a major U.S. policy shift. And according to the Daily Mail, I don't know that it is or it's not. I have not been following the Biden administration's policies with Ukraine. I mean, I stopped following after I realized I had no power to change any of it. Anyway, it says the decision is a major policy shift and comes as Biden is about to leave office, while President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to limit American support for Ukraine and end the war as soon as possible. You know what? I will say this about wars in general. I am generally for no war. I'm a pacifist to the extent that it's possible to be a pacifist, right? I mean, I realize I can't be completely naive anymore in life, and that knowledge and realization perhaps came later in my life than it would for normal people. So, you go through your life, oh, I'm a pacifist, war is bad, war is bad. I think sometimes you don't have a choice but to fight. You don't have a choice but to fight because people leave you no choice. People will take everything you have, everything you own, including your sense of self, your dignity even. I mean, your money is one thing. Money can be replaced. They just take everything. And if you don't fight back, whether in sort of an individual level or a state level or a global level, you lose. Nice guys finish last. And so sometimes you have to fight back, right? Sometimes you have to fight back. Do I think you should ever start a war? I'm not there yet. I don't know. In my head, I can't think yet of any scenarios where I would say offensively starting a war with someone is justified, right? But as I continue to evolve as a human being and as I continue to have my own experiences in life and my own observations of the human experience and what that even means, you tend to have different ideas as time goes on because the world is not this one-dimensional place that you fantasize it was when you were sitting there in your bubble for decades, right? You wake up and you smell the coffee. People are horrible. And sometimes you have to fight, right? That's it. Is it okay what Biden did here? I don't know because I have not really been following, the Ukraine story for a while. I do think that it's been a long time. The war has been going on for a very long time. I understand that, Russia is not stopping and the Ukraine is trying to protect its territorial integrity, which they have a right to do. And Putin is saying, look, this was Russia. Y'all took it away years back when, this was all part of the USSR and this and that. We want it back. And it's kind of like, to me, a very complicated thing. It's like Israel and Hamas and these people. I mean, this was somebody was living on the land. You came, you took the land. They want it back. Should they get it back? It's like America. The Native Americans had the land and the Europeans came in and took it. Should they get that back? It's a very complicated thing. And once you start going down that path, then, once the land is ceded, I think that you're done. I mean, the key is to avoid having to cede your land in the first place, because once it's ceded, then you do have to fight wars to get it back, and those wars are going to be very bloody, very deadly, very costly. And in the end, can you get the land back? Probably not, right? So here, I think Putin probably needs to just recede. That said, he's not going to do that. So Ukraine keeps fighting. The other countries in Europe, I think, support Ukraine. And Biden, on his way out, is doing his last, lap as president, and he's doing what he can by giving them permission to use U.S. supplied long-range missiles to blast Russian targets, right? Now, Trump is coming in, and Trump made a very good point. He's like, he's never seen anything like it. This guy, Zelensky, he flies over to America on his private jet. I don't think he flies commercial. And he goes to the White House and he walks away with billions and billions of dollars, right? And to continue this war. And, America has its own, economic woes, I mean, inflation, etc. I mean, wars make money for these people. I mean, at the end of wars, they have to reconstruct. America will get all these contracts. I mean, the money's made back somehow with their industrial complex. I never really understood any of it. I'm not even sure that I necessarily want to understand it. But so it's not that a war is all bad. I mean, they have an economic interest, they being whoever they are, in fighting wars, because somehow they make money from this insanity. This is insane. The whole thing is insane, you guys. War is insane as a general rule. But Trump has made clear that, he doesn't want to do this anymore. He doesn't want to spend all this money anymore. He doesn't want to continue with the killing. He wants this needs to stop, right? There needs to be a truce. I mean, and I don't really know how they're going to get a truce, because for them to get a truce, Putin is going to have to back off. I mean, he can't have this land, clearly. I mean, look, no offense to Putin, but I understand his position, as a matter of fact. I understand his position. This was Russian territory. You took it. We want it back. I understand. But once you see that land, or that land has been taken before, you kind of like, you're done. It's adverse possession in theory. You're done. You just stop. So Putin is going to have to stop. So now this is going to make it, with Biden giving Zelensky the okay to go in with these American supplied missiles. This is the American president who did that. Putin is going to see this as an act of the United States and not necessarily distinguish between Biden and Trump, right? So there we have this. Listen, you guys, I don't have the answer for it, but this is what Don Jr. is saying, is that Biden wants to start World War III. And look, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I mean, I'm going to just climb onto the couch. See you in the next one. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and notification bell.